This month on the Ninja Tune podcast, our producer Azaria May sat down with DJ Seinfeld to discuss his beginnings in music, his recording process, and the 2021 release of his most recent album, Mirrors, released via Ninja Tune. They delve into the unusual topic of UFOs, as Seinfeld expresses a fascination with flying saucers. We find out what his perfect UFO experience would be. So don't forget to rate and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. Hello, Armand. How are you?
Hello, Azaria. I'm great. How are you doing?
You said off air you had a bit of a stressful morning. You feeling good now? Feeling unstressed?
Well, I'm still in the middle of London, so I'm never completely unstressed, but I can't complain.
Do you find Soho a bit hectic?
I find all of London hectic.
Really? Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
No, I've been coming here quite a lot, but I do try and take like the tube for most journeys, but every now and then I'm lazy, and then you inevitably pay the price for it. And you get car sick as well, so. I
get car sick in any car unless it's like a big car. Like, you know, if you're when you're like high up in a van. Yeah. Yeah. Here
in London, it's brutal.
It's the stop-start motion, right?
It's this, and every road, every street has like these car bumps as well. Like last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. When I was here last time, I had a car drive me to Gatwick. It took like an hour.
Gatwick?
Yeah, it took it's part of the
You're
contract.
Crazy.
But I didn't know how brutal that would be, but it was.
You could have just got the train and probably be quicker.
I know, but I feel like I'm so much more of a star if somebody drives me.
Yeah. But surely like Berlin is like hectic, no? Or is it chilled?
It's quite hectic usually, yeah. It's not as hectic as London at all, but it's hectic in different ways, I would say. It's just things there, constructions and stuff like that take a lot longer. So like I know there have been constructions on like very small roads for like the better part of 10 years for no good reason at all. And then you just have to stand in traffic for like 45 minutes to an hour every time because of that. So
wow, it sounds like the Isle of Man.
Yeah.
So are you looking forward to your show at Peckham Audio tonight? You've got a little bit of a residency there at the moment, haven't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I was a little bit like on the fence about it at first because like I've been doing small venues in the past, and like I thought, at some point in your career you feel like you're maybe not entitled, but you kind of get used to playing a little bit bigger shows. So stepping down to like a smaller capacity and doing it more times was, it's a conscious choice, just to like rebuild and like start fresh post-pandemic in a way and engage with the fan base a little bit more. But yeah, it should be exciting. It was fun the last time.
Yeah, it was so fun. I was actually there. You were blowing the roof off the place.
Well, somebody had to do it.
Yeah, they're still recovering.
Mm-hmm.
So I find a great place to start with these sort of interviews is actually the meaning behind the name that you hold, DJ Seinfeld. So for those who actually don't know, can you tell us how you came up with this name? And obviously I think I have a little hint that you might be a fan of the show, Seinfeld. Just maybe.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But it sort of started out as, what was it, 2016, 17. I was living and studying in Barcelona, and I had just like gone through my first breakup. So I wasn't going through like a very good time, and I used Seinfeld as a comfort show. And I did have like a couple of different aliases in the past, but I just wanted to do something else and have a fresh start. And I thought, wouldn't it be funny to be called DJ Seinfeld? And I thought it was funny at the very start, but then when things started like spiraling out of control, I realized that.
But do you have regrets?
I don't have regrets, but I saw somebody like tag me in a like kind of rude tweet the other day, and somebody's like, I can't imagine having to go through the rest of your life as DJ Seinfeld. And it was sort of validating.
Why? It's not even bad.
It's not bad. It's just, but it's not my real name. And it's like, I kind of.
DJ Armand.
I mean, there's like Armin van Helden and stuff.
Oh, yeah, Armand. What's your last name?
Jacobson.
Armand Jacobson.
Doesn't have that same ring to it.
Yeah,
my middle name is Darius, which could be kind of cool. But
DJ Armand Darius. Well, you can just drop the DJ bit.
That's true.
Armand Darius.
Yeah, DJ is kind of redundant, isn't it? It is. But yeah, no, so that's where that came from. And by the time I actually had time to have any regrets about it,
you were already a super famous DJ.
I was traveling the world, yeah.
So take me back to the beginning. Has making and playing music always been a part of your life, or something you sort of discovered later on?
No, it definitely was there from the very start. My dad used to be an opera singer. My mom is still a music teacher. My older sister was and is a cellist and an opera singer.
Wow.
So I play the piano from a very early age.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it was a very loud household.
Do you think like you've got like really deep emotions then? Because I feel like, you know, when you look...
No, I'm completely dead inside.
I am a serial killer. Yeah, because I feel like opera is like, you know, when you listen to it, it like touches your soul, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on when you explore it for the first time. It's like when you're a kid, there are a lot of things that you don't appreciate.
Yeah, that's so true.
It's like when somebody tells you to like, oh, play the piano for an hour, like the demon inside of you is going to be like, no, I don't want to do that.
I want to play games, bro.
Exactly. I want to do something completely irrelevant to the future of myself and my career. But, I mean, yeah, I sort of, yeah, opera had its beautiful parts as well. But as a kid, you're more worried about, like, the locker room and, like, hanging with friends.
What's happening in the locker room?
You've never played ice hockey in Sweden. It gets brutal. No, but, you know, like, I mean, you're like, what, when you're 10, 12, even younger, like, all the things that are on your mind as, you know, like, a prepubescent teen, it's not going to be, like... It's not going to be opera.
It's true. Okay, so what was your life like growing up in Sweden, though? Like, sort of paint a picture for me, aside maybe from music as well.
Very tranquil, I would say. I mean, tranquil in one way. I really liked my childhood. My parents worked a lot. They made sure we always had food on the table. They took us on vacation once a year. And then I was very, very active as a kid. I played like football, ice hockey, tennis, floorball. I don't know if you know what that sport is. Floorball is like a Scandinavian sport, similar to ice hockey. Did a bunch of sports, and then I was also very like ambitious academically. So I took myself very seriously, and
does everyone in Sweden sound like you?
No.
Because you like sound super American.
No, I can definitely talk like this, and it would sound horrible. But I try and avoid it because we grow up with like American television. So I also went to international high school.
Yeah.
And then I started in Scotland, and then I tried to, when you're in the formative years of like forming an accent or a dialect, you're making a choice at some point. And I realized, like, whenever I tried to sound British or Scottish or anything else, it was just fake.
You just tried them. What am I going to be today?
And I definitely chose the wrong one. Yeah.
No, it sounds great. I was just like, you sound like you're from, I don't know, like LA or something. And
yeah, I've heard Idaho for
Idaho. Yeah, like Canadian or something.
Yeah,
maybe
somewhere
a little bit.
like Midwest up north kind of thing, but never been there.
Well, you know, big up Canada, we love it. So it's
Shout
Americans, woo, shout out.
Shout out to Maple Leafs.
So can you name a song from your childhood that stands out as having an impact on you, like either emotionally or like, musically? Yeah.
I remember my dad was always like a massive fan of Enya. So whenever we went on like big, like long road trips or whatever, we would always play that. And I don't remember what songs of Enya we were listening to, probably like the classics at that point. But I have like very strong memories of those kind of things, and I still kind of love Enya.
So we touched briefly upon your breakup and how that scarred you emotionally. But, you know, when you moved to Barcelona,
Yes.
you wrote the track You, which exploded online. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, so I think I was working in a normal office job for a little bit. It was after I had done my master's, and I really wasn't enjoying working in an office. And I had been making music for a while, but I mean, having to wear a suit and going to work every day was just kind of soul draining. And but yeah, I was going through that breakup, and I was partying a lot at the same time, and I was very productive, despite like the obvious missteps in terms of health and like just going out partying all the time. But there was one night where, or like a period of 2 weeks, to be honest, where I just went out all the time and came home quite late, and then
Like after your breakup?
yeah,
I feel like that's what that always happens, right?
It's
like a rite of passage.
It is, yeah. You're just like, I need to I need to cleanse whatever has happened, and now I need to return to the world. Damaged and ready to start again. And no, so I remember I don't remember making the track. I just remember I posted it on SoundCloud, but I thought I had posted it as like a private link. And then I go to work a couple of hours later, and then I see it had been sort of ripped and posted on YouTube. And by the time that I had like actually figured out what was happening, it had already gotten quite a lot of views and plays. So like things just started happening, getting a lot of messages from people, and yeah.
And that was like the beginning.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to walk into the office and be like,
I'm famous.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm way too famous for this. You'll excuse me.
Do you not like... So if you go back to Barcelona, do you not find it like weird? Because like I went through a breakup when I lived in Brighton, and it was like literally the most soul destroying thing ever. And whenever I go back there, I'm like, oh my God, am I going to bump into that person? Like all this stuff, like,
right.
Or just the vibe, because you went through a lot there. Is that not like, do you go there?
I go there all the time, but my ex-partner she was living in Sweden, so I didn't really run too much risk of running into her there. So it was kind of nice to not be part of it, even though in a strange way, like even though you might have been broken up, and that initial phase afterwards, you kind of just hope you run into them and like something, but then I haven't seen them. Well, I haven't seen her since then, essentially. So it's So I mean, living abroad kind of forced me to just get on with my life, which was the best thing ever.
Yeah. So another thing I read online, which is this is so much.
All the rumors are true.
And so I read online that you didn't. This actually blows my mind, right? That you didn't know how to DJ before your first tour.
No.
Can you confirm?
I didn't know how to DJ for the first year, probably. I mean, it was in the same wave as that happened. I was still working in the office for the first 6 months or so of my DJing thing. But I had no idea. I'd never owned decks. I never really played on decks. I didn't know what a record box was. I just was a complete novice. And I would leave early on Fridays to go to wherever I was playing for the airport and be at the airport checking YouTube tutorials on how to beat match and stuff like that.
Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
The first one, so you're looking at YouTube videos and you're like, shit.
I have no idea what this is. Yeah.
And then you just get on the decks. Do you remember that experience?
Yeah.
Were you just pooing yourself?
Yeah. I was. Big time. I think one of the first ones that I had was actually in Berlin in a club that I'm not even sure exists anymore. And I was so nervous. And they wanted me to play from 4 till 8 in the morning to essentially close the club. And
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
4 hours?
I definitely didn't have enough music for that. So luckily it's in Berlin. So I don't think a lot of people notice when you play a few tracks twice.
You just played an 8-minute track 10 times.
100. I mean, not going to say that happened, but it definitely did. But it made it easier. My friends from Sweden came to Berlin and surprised me. It made it a little bit more easy. But
that's really cute.
I know.
That's some solid friends you got there.
I know, but they really never come to any of my other shows that have been way more fun. So maybe I scarred them. Next time they actually came with me to a show was in this boiler room in Budapest.
Oh, that's cool.
It was great, but it was also the very, very last show before the pandemic and the shutdown. So that, I remember I went to see that boiler room a couple of weeks ago, and I saw most of the comments were I wonder how many transmissions happen at this very spot. So, and a few of them got COVID at that point. So,
oh no, you need to invite them to a good. Not that they're all not good.
I do, but I just have to accept that.
That's God.
Yeah.
So it seems like a little bit of a theme on this podcast we've got going on at the moment. We have many talented musicians and producers such as yourself in here, and they all actually have a degree in something completely different to what they are now are doing. So you have a degree in maths, which is oh so impressive because I haven't even got a GCSE in maths. So we're not going to talk about that.
Well, I mean, it's technically economics, finance and maths, but yeah.
Still impressive. Which leads me to my next question. What career do you think you would have gone down if you weren't doing music? If it didn't pop off on SoundCloud? It's not a very nice thing to think about, to be honest.
No, it's not, but it's kind of very sobering to realize whenever I feel like this job is a little bit too much. It's nice to think where I probably would have been if I wasn't doing this. And most likely I would be working I was aiming for some type of consultancy stuff, management consultancy.
What even is that?
I mean, who knows? It's just you earn a lot of money, and then you go to companies and you tell them how to fix their business, and then they pay you an exorbitant amount of money, and then you live miserably ever after.
It's it's very refreshing talking to you because it's kind of not saying all DJs, but I feel like you're actually very intelligent and very witty, so that you can see that you've done these things.
Empathy helps. Empathy helps a lot. You just it helps you see the world. Thank you, by the way. It helps you see the world in a very objective way.
So in another interview, you talk about how you're obsessed with UFOs. You don't give off as an alien hunter.
A conspiracy nut.
You're the world is flat.
Well, I've seen the world and it actually is flat. No, I think that is one of my strongest character suits, that I believe in UFOs, I believe in aliens. I'm not even joking. No, I find it's just...
I believe in aliens.
Yeah, I think more people should. It's just, I was... I don't know why. I've always been fascinated by it. Maybe when, like, it started when I was a young kid. But I just always loved the idea of there being something else and that somebody had access to, like, the whole universe. And, like, yeah, just something mysterious and very, like, escapist about it.
Was it like, so was it E.T.? Or was it, what was the first film you watched?
I think
Alien-esque.
I remember I saw E.T., but it didn't really grab me. I think the one that actually got me for the first time was Independence Day.
Okay.
This, like, where humanity's being invaded and attacked by the superior species. And we need Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith to save us. It's, I mean, it made so much sense.
So like Men in Black then, almost.
Basically, but it was like, it
More
was
serious.
It was completely unironic, and I don't know. I mean, I know it's like a stupid story and whatever, but it's the first thing that actually, like, I was like, oh, I like this. And, like, there's something there.
I think like my first alien film experience was that like my stepdad at the time like had I don't know if you've seen a PlayStation Portable. Do you remember that, like, PSP?
Oh, yeah.
It was like a PlayStation, but a portable one without the wires and stuff. And you could, like, actually watch, like, films on it.
Right.
And he had the Alien one. And my mum was like, do not fucking watch this. You're too young. It was like, I wasn't even, like, 12. I was in, like, primary school. And I was just like, yeah, fuck you. I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah,
and I was like,
gangster.
yes. I mean, look at me. I'm so gangster.
Yeah.
So that night, I, like, climbed into my bunk bed. And, you know.
As every gangster does at some point.
And I just, like, started watching it. And I scarred myself for life. But I was like, aliens are so cool. But also, like, I think I just proved myself.
Yeah, was it the one where, like, the thing comes out of the...
Yeah.
That will get you. That will get you.
And I was like 8. It's like...
Yeah, and you've been damaged to this day.
Yeah. But also fascinated. Have you seen did I ask you? What is it? What's that film? What, you know, the new Alien film? Have you seen it?
Which one?
I actually can't even remember what it is now.
Arrival?
It's like, it's by the same director who wrote the film Get Out.
Oh, Jordan Peele.
Yeah, Jordan Peele's new Alien film.
Oh no, I haven't seen that one. I've been meaning to.
It's so good because it's like, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but it's basically like not at all what you'd expect.
Okay. Well,
and I've never seen an alien like that. It's portrayed in a completely different way
interesting.
than you would like ever think. It's so weird. It's kind of arty as well and kind of like obscure.
Like obscure Jordan Peele. No, I love everything he's ever done. So
okay, so you'll love it then. You should check it out.
I will.
Though ... can't remember the name, but it's great.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I wanted to see it in the movies, but I never did.
It's called like the.
We're just gonna keep guessing.
No, so I want you to describe to me because wait, have you even seen an alien?
Nope, never.
Okay, that sucks for you.
I've flown so much and I've never seen anything. I'm furious.
So what would DJ Seinfeld's perfect UFO experience be?
Ooh, actually, that's a really good question. Perfect. I think it would be me somewhere in a field or in a desert being picked up.
Route 66.
Sorry? Route 66, yeah. And then there would be some, like, news cameras around to capture it.
Oh, you wouldn't want it to go unnoticed?
No, because I want to, when I come back, it's going to be like, I'm the most famous human in the world.
You'd be like the famous alien DJ.
Yeah, go on Dr. Phil, or here in Soho's basement to talk about my experience. No, that'd be amazing. And then people like, oh my God, where is he? He's gone for like a week.
What would happen? Like,
no, they would take me. They would show me the universe. They'll give me some like hints, make me wise, more wise than I am.
They'd like put something in your head.
Yeah, put something in my head, just like clarity. It would kind of suck if you just like actually went and got kidnapped by aliens, and then you come back and you're exactly the same person. You're just like, you learned nothing.
Yeah, I would totally ask them. I'd be like,
Yeah, there's so many questions.
let's have tea, because
I'm sure you guys have tea.
I'm so like English, do you know what I mean? I'm a
Yeah.
northerner, so I'd be like, we've got to have a cup of tea. And then I'd be like, can we like fly in the spaceship like back through like
Yeah.
the time, like humanity? So I'd be like, I want to see the dinosaurs.
That's it.
I want to see the Egyptians, and I really want to see Victorian London.
That's I really like that idea, because it's the same kind of thing that I've been telling friends, like how fascinating would it not be if like we've been watched for like forever by somebody and they recorded our history
With their like eyes, because
yeah
they're like
cameras
aliens.
yeah, exactly.
But
well,
that's what I mean. The camera would be like in their eyeballs,
yes,
wouldn't it?
I wasn't aware of their anatomy, but
Sorry, I actually know all about them.
you definitely have seen some aliens, and like you've thought about it more than I have.
Yeah, well, oh, actually, that reminds me, there's a new film coming out called 65. We're going on a bit of a tangent here, but this is all quality listening, so it doesn't matter. But
Are you hired by like Universal Studios to like plug in new movies?
I am. So there's a new movie coming out called on March 10th called 65.
Okay.
Have you heard about it?
No.
I'm gonna go watch it, right? And it's kind of like Aliens, but it's like they're in a spaceship, and then they're like in the adverts like, we've crashed on an alien planet and we don't know where we are, and she's like, for fuck's sake. And then they crash and there's like dinosaurs everywhere, but they're like alien dinosaurs, and they've got to like kill them and stuff.
Alien dinosaurs.
They just look like dinosaurs, but they're like super hench dinosaurs.
I mean,
So don't know,
is it like it reminds me a little bit of like that movie like Cowboys versus Aliens or Cowboys versus Dinosaurs?
No, I think it's Cowboys
Zombies?
versus Aliens.
Oh yeah, whatever. I don't know if is it supposed to be a serious movie?
Well, it's the main actor is like someone who's like really famous, and I think he won a Grammy, but I'm really bad with names, so I can't remember his name, but he's got a serious face.
Oh,
So
probably a very serious movie.
yeah. So back to the music anyway. You released your last album Mirrors in 2021, and I feel like there's such like an amalgamation of sounds in there. You know, there's lots of like melancholic moments and some uplifting tracks. What does this album mean and sort of embody to you?
Well, I wrote it during the pandemic. I was kind of very mindful that I didn't want it to be like a pandemic album. But it was much harder to write that album than the first one, because I mean the first one wasn't really intended as an album at all. It was just, I had a bunch of music, and then my manager and label friend, they were just like, oh, well, there's enough stuff here for an album, let's do it. This time around it was like I started working with Ninja Tune, and I hadn't really up until that point made music in a very consistent way. So the better part of 2 years of like lockdown, it was just spent me trying to become a better producer. And I was feeling okay. Like I didn't have anything that drove me, like gave me inspiration. Like lockdown sucked, of course, but I was fine. I wasn't heartbroken. I wasn't depressed. I was generally kind of fine.
Just vibes in it.
Just vibes, just vibes. And so it was kind of like it was this process of firstly getting better at making music, and then secondly, once I had some music, just like trying to figure out what that was. And I realized like Mirrors, I mean, it came from this kind of like cheesy quote that I found in a book by one of my favorite authors. It's like, you were always my mirror. To see myself, I had to look at you. And because I didn't really think I had anything going on in my life that was like driving this album forward, I realized maybe just making music and seeing what happens without too much thought will tell me more about it or tell me more about myself than I can do it consciously. I don't know if that sounds good, but
That's so beautiful.
I was struggling. You know, when you open your mouth and then halfway through you just hope you find the words.
Yeah.
That was it.
I feel like that's just me constantly.
I can tell.
Vibes in it all
Vibes in
day.
it. Yeah.
did performing your album live on the Mirrors tour come with any challenges for you?
Only challenges.
Only?
No, I mean it was great, but it was really fun at times, but also touring a live set came with a lot of logistical issues and stress, especially like post-pandemic when international travels had not really come back to normal, and just the costs of everything just had been so high. So, and it was very exhausting as well, and like a bunch of tours that I did with it, everything that went wrong or could have gone wrong went wrong. So even though like I had a great team around it, it was just some things that were beyond us. Performing it was fun, but after a certain point, you're just like, okay, well, I've made this track or these tracks 2 years ago, and now I have to play them out every single night and more or less in the same fashion. So I got really, really tired of it at some point.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
it makes sense.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you have 10 tracks, 12 tracks that you play out every single night. And then you know what works, and then you know what doesn't work that well, and then you just have to face those insecurities every single night.
Yeah, you just have to like go through it over and over again, like Groundhog Day.
And like we went from very small venues, and then we went all the way up to like Printworks and like festival closing. And if it doesn't work in a very small room, like going on and performing the same thing in front of like 5,000, 7,000 people, it's going to break your heart.
Another heartbreak.
Another heartbreak, yeah.
Do you have like a favourite place to play? Favourite venue?
Venue is very hard, but...
You don't upset anyone.
I don't care about that. I would say I really, really love playing in... I was going to say, saying London sounds very cheesy, but London has always been very good to me. But I would say the favorite place for me to visit is Australia. People there are just so like accommodating and nice and up for anything. And it's also a beautiful country. So like for me, whenever I go there, it's yes, it's a lot of work, but it's also like a holiday. So it's the best of both worlds.
What were some of your favorite moments when creating Mirrors?
The favorite moments of creating Mirrors.
Why are you laughing?
Because there are so many traumatic moments.
Ooh, tell us about them.
Well, I mean...
Actually, maybe we should keep it positive.
No, it's actually quite... I mean, I find it funny now, so it's all good. But, no, I mean, it was the first time I worked with an A&R, and it's really, really good A&R. And in the first few demos that I sent in, the feedback that I got back was kind of brutal. And I remember I was in Mexico City, and the first time I got a batch of feedback, I had food poisoning, and I was like in the bathroom.
Hello, doctors, my old friend.
Exactly. And I got a call from my manager, and I was like, that's a weird time to get a phone call from Graham. And he was like, yeah, just so like a heads up, like, yeah, we've gotten the feedback. And just so you know, like a lot of people have gone through the same process. It's not going to be nice for you. It's like, oh, all right, that's fine. I'm like throwing up. How bad can it be? I was very wrong. It was really, really, really dark feedback. So that was one of the worst days of my life. But and then I got through that, and then I got better and better. And then the A&R, I mean, he wasn't wrong. He told me exactly what I wanted or needed to hear. So I think there were a bunch of stuff like that made the whole thing very funny. And towards the end, when the album was more or less finished, it was positive feedback. And that made it feel all the more rewarding to have the support of not only him, but, a lot of other people. And I felt more confident about it. And now it's much better. I'm excited to send him music.
So tell us about a song or an artist that you're loving at the moment.
A song or an artist that I'm loving at the moment. I would say I only listen to kind of early 90s or late 90s dance music and ambient. But the ambient stuff that I find is I don't know the name of them. It's just like it could be from
elusive.
No, it's not even that like dark. It's even worse than that. It's like I probably found like a soundbite on TikTok or social media. I was like, oh, I like this song.
Deep cuts.
But I would say my favorite artist at the moment. I mean, there are a lot of them, but I would say probably Salute.
Salute.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love Salute.
We love Salute. Felix, yeah, he's...
you guys are like bezies.
We
You like
are.
hugged it out at Mixmag. You were like hugging
Yeah.
and stuff.
I saw him like standing in the corner creeping on me, and then I saw him, and then I was like, you gotta come here.
Give me a cuddle.
Give me a cuddle, Felix. I need it right now. I'm dying up here. No, but he's just like a great human, great artist, and he's like he's doing really, really well at the moment, which it couldn't be more well deserved.
So what's next on the cards for you? 'Cause you're going to be really busy touring, aren't you, pretty much all year?
Yeah, I have to submit an album at the end of the year, so I'm in the process of making the third album now, which is going quite well, I would say. And then it's just a bunch of shows. I know how to DJ now, which makes it a lot easier. And then I think I'm going to take a break around September and October, just to like maybe not go offline, but finish the album and maybe go UFO hunting.
Oh my goodness, you're going to go to like America.
I will go to like America.
like America, even though it's like literally massive.
Yeah, no, I know where to go. That's fine.
Do you ever like go on holiday when you're not in like work mode, but to like make an album? Do you ever go to like a specific place?
No.
You're just like
Wherever. I don't have a studio. I just sit with my laptop on the bed and have like 14 YouTube tabs open and then sit and make music until 2, 3 a.m.
Beautiful.
Oh, it's very depressing.
Well, thank you so much for coming in today. It's been such a pleasure chatting to you.
Thank you.
You are so chatty.
I try and be, yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, make sure you go and check out Mirrors wherever you listen to your music. And obviously, we'll be keeping our eyes open for new music from you.
Thank you so much. I hope so.
anywhere.